welcome you back to Toyota Center, where your Houston Rockets are getting ready for their home opener.
It's game day. We're playing a tough team against the Warriors.
What's that matchup with Curry like?
It's stressful. Pretty hard to guard. He doesn't stop moving. I had my fair share of good battles with the Warriors, with Memphis. And I want to put a new foot forward that, who is Dillon Brooks?
Who is the real Dillon Brooks?
We're talking about Dillon Brooks. That's what we're talking about.
Dillon Brooks is a damn genius.
Dillon Brooks might be the most despised player in the NBA right now.
The antics, I'm not a fan of the antics.
Everybody needs that heel, that villain.
Say whatever you want about Dillon Brooks, he's savvy.
When you chirp like Dillon Brooks chirp, you gotta bust his ass.
He is committed to it. He leans all the way in.
He's one of those players that is largely misunderstood.
This goes without saying, but I'm fairly confident Dillon Brooks does not give a
One of those players that on your team you love and you cherish. When you're on the other side of it, it's a pain in the ass.
It's the Houston Rockets home opener, and Dillon Brooks is tasked with guarding the greatest shooter of all time.
Tell you what, Dillon Brooks played a lot of good defense tonight.
In the fourth quarter, Brooks is getting under Steph Curry's skin. He's once again intentionally poking the bear.
Nah, F that. Like, I want to poke the bear. I want to see what this person's all about.
Another three is down! My goodness.
I like that. I like to get your best out of you, you know, every single game.
Curry, step back again. Another one! 3 straight threes! This is screens to get Brooks off of him. Oh, he crossed him over. Let Brooks fly by. Oh, no. Oh, Steph Curry.
He did him dirty.
Dillon's got it in him to, like, they hit a shot, he's immediately on to the next play. They have to do it again.
Dillon Brooks is still on him.
They hit another one. They have to do it again.
You don't know. Finally.
And his approach never really changes.
When I play, you know, it's either you're going to fold or you're going to rise over the occasion. And usually they fold.
Come on. Come on.
Brooks learned about tenacity early in life while growing up in Mississauga. It was his mother, Diane, whose tough love forged Dillon's commitment to basketball.
He was playing in Hamilton. So at the time we lived in Oakville. This was in the winter, and we were driving. It was a snowstorm. And Dillon was kind of sitting in the car going, Mom, I don't know if I want to go to basketball and all this. And here I was like knuckling it on the wheel driving there.
She just stopped the car on the side of the road and was like, if you don't go to practice now, I won't ever take you again.
Dillon Brooks.
You know, ever since then, I wanted to never quit on the game.
And then I think back then it just kind of hit him, like thinking, yeah, I think I do want to do this.
He just had a real joy when he was playing, and I just thought, wow, this kid loves the game. He's somebody I want to coach. He was just a nice kid. He had a big smile. All the teachers and staff loved him.
He has like this fire, this spark. When he's on the floor, you can see like the whole dynamics change. And then half the time you're wondering, okay, what's going to happen next?
That unpredictability became a calling card, as Brooks was a star for the Oregon Ducks.
Brooks, desperation, got it!
And eventually made it to the NBA after being taken in the second round of the 2017 draft by the Memphis Grizzlies. A place where Brooks personified the grit and grind.
He wants the challenge. He wants all the smoke.
it's hard work to do what he does. Guarding the best offensive player on a nightly basis, like, that's tough physically, but it's also tough emotionally and mentally.
And a technical foul. He's going to be suspended the next game.
I just got the motivation that a lot of people don't have.
If there's a competition, he wants a part of it.
I want to do things that a lot of people don't want to do.
He just fits the DNA of this franchise, doesn't he? That grit and grind.
That's who he is. He's the dog in the game.
Dillon Brooks stepping right in to take that charge.
You cannot guard the best offensive player on the other team if you're Mr. Nice Guy.
You're hearing the boos every time he touches the basketball. Brooks now is public enemy #1 here.
You remember if there was a point in your life when you're like, being a villain or whatever, I'm gonna embrace this.
Somebody called me like Dillon the villain, and then I just started rolling with it.
Hold on!
Dillon Brooks talking some trash.
Yeah. Boy, it didn't take long.
Now he's jumping.
If you ever wonder why the Memphis Grizzlies is not ready to compete for a championship, look no further than this idiot right here.
I don't think Dillon's a guy who's going to shy away from things.
And a cat like Dillon Brooks does not care about your rings.
You know, if people say they want to make him the bad guy, he's like, I'm going to be the guy who's in your face the whole game and competes the whole game. If that makes me the bad guy, you know, fine.
Durant and Brooks just called for a double technical.
Dillon, even though you see him on the court, he seems very out there, vocal. Off the court, Dillon's not really that person. He is very quiet, more reserved.
He really is a likable young man, and he always was likable.
We appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you.
But the NBA is a dogfight.
Technical foul on Booker.
Dillon Brooks seems like a regular guy who's trying to dig you.
Brooks chose to make enemies along his journey. But perhaps the most perplexing was his feud with LeBron James during last season's playoffs.
Maybe you shouldn't do that with one of the better players in the game. I guess what were you thinking?
I don't care, he's old. I poke bears.
A decision that clearly backfired.
Slopped up by James. Oh! He rose up.
Do you ever have any regrets about the stuff that you'll say or do? Like,
no, I don't take anything I said back. I would just say what's on my mind. I wouldn't sugarcoat anything or say anything different. It's just what was on my mind then and what's ultimately true.
The Lakers would eliminate the Grizzlies in 6 games.
Los Angeles Lakers will advance by virtue of a 125-85 win.
And with Brooks heading to free agency, a report surfaced stating the Grizzlies wouldn't bring him back under any circumstances.
The GM told me it was supposed to be, kept between me and him. Not even 1 day passed.
If they didn't want to sign him, so what? Don't sign him. But you don't have to put it out there like he's some off-the-court distractions because he was none of that.
I was just a scapegoat for what was, really going on around in Memphis. And, I feel like I was that for, that whole year. And I just, as any Canadian would know, just hugged it.
There's other issues besides Dillon Brooks and him poking a bear. If you ask Dillon Brooks' teammates, they ride with him. They ride with him.
I saw some stuff in the summer that suggested, he's going to have to go to China. Does it bother you?
Yeah, I laughed at it. I knew that wasn't in the cards for me.
I saw all the memes on Twitter and IG about him needing to learn Mandarin because he was going to go play in China. Just signed for $80 million. Sorry for the language.
I didn't really care about the antics, they're a thing, you're aware that they exist. But for us, it was really, who is the player? And I think he's a guy who day in, day out competes at a super high level.
Brooks cooking right now.
For sure, the person that the public perceives is not the person that I'm interacting with every day.
Brooks to the rack, coming with some nasty.
Securing a 4-year, $80 million contract with Houston, Brooks now has generational wealth. He's matured into a leader at the arena and at his new Houston home, where he lives with his younger brother, Jax.
They're pretty close. Dillon's trying to help Jax to get his career going as well.
I've been by the edge, feeling cold as December. Hopping out the flight, feels like home.
I'm heading with music, you know, like music's my everything. And I work on it every day, countless hours. I try to put a lot of time into it.
Got me chasing bands, so we got to pack out. Tell her keep it cool when you come to my house.
What role does Dillon play in that?
100% supportive. He helps me mold with a lot of things. He's a big fan with my music, like I always send him songs all the time. He literally made me feel like I can do anything. Because he was never like the top guy. And now he's showing me that anything's possible.
You made me remember. I've been by the edge, feeling cold as December.
Yes.
What do people misunderstand most about you?
I think I am one of the most misunderstood players in the NBA. Ultimately, I'm just a competitor. That's my persona that I get into. And ultimately, I'm just a nice guy, you know, that plays this game to support their family and their friends.
That notion of family, I think, is very rooted in Dillon's upbringing. We support each other at all times, hold each other accountable, but we support each other. And that's exactly what Diane did with Dillon.
And actually, when I start to think about that, I start feeling teary. Deep down, Dillon is very soft inside. He's very caring. He's not that hard person that people think he is.
All these cameras up.
Yeah, he's my oldest son. I'm really... Oh, God, now you guys put me in this situation. He's not this evil villain. Deep down inside, that's not who he is. He's a very soft, loving, caring son.